school has done it once again. In this year's CPEA examinations, they would have secured not only the top spot, but 3 of the top 10 performers in this year's examination. And with me is one of the grade 6 class teachers, Mrs. Hoyt Holder, who would have been the class teacher for for 5 years now, and for both Gerald Charles and Richard James. Now, it is just simply amazing to see the performance that the Kingston Preparatory School has been putting out over the years. They have been so consistent in the examinations, and there's no doubt in my mind that the style of teaching perhaps may be one of the key areas in these children's success. So, Mrs. Hoyt-Holder, I can see the smile on your face and you're elated that once again you would have been instrumental in preparing these children. And a bit of sad news though, we understand that this will be her final year here. So she's going out on a high, a very high note. Mrs. Hoyt-Holder, what it is that you've been doing that has been so successful in these preparations?
I would not just say me, because I think some preparatory schools are a real team. Okay? So it's teamwork, first of all. Secondly, you must thank the Most High God for helping us. It's a lot of work. You know, we are the largest school in the Eastern Caribbean, the largest primary school in the Eastern Caribbean. Our classrooms, we have large numbers. So if you come to the Kingston Preparatory School as a teacher, you must come prepared for the challenges ahead. Now, it has been a school that has been doing well over the years, and we would want to continue, so we know that we have to work hard. So it is consistent. So it is teamwork, consistent hard work, love for the children, dedication, and most of all, the help of God.
The help of God.
Yes.
And well, you would have been close in terms of the involvement with both Richard and Jared. What type of students are they generally?
Richard and Jared, they're both lovely students. But they are different in that Richard is more of a reserved nature, very consistent student, both of them throughout their primary school years. They both work hard, but Richard is the one who would sit quietly, chat with his friend, help him. Jared is more what we say rambunctious, always on the go. He's the one who always have to keep back in his seats and so on. And his mom would worry sometimes when she comes to the school, but we tell her, don't worry, he's working well, you just have to have him settled. And walking along together with the parents, you can see that he has settled and brought it home to us.
Yes, and one more question before we let you get back to your graduation ceremony, in case the public didn't know. The students receive this information on the very day that they will be graduating from school.
Yes.
And hence, it is just a double celebration in one for the Kingston Prep School, the teachers and the students. But one more question.
Yes.
What sort of advice would you give to teachers, specifically those that are in the late stages of the preparation of children for the exams? What sort of advice would you give to them and parents in terms of making sure that these children are adequately prepared to sit the exams?
So first of all, their children, they would come into school and they know for a fact they're going to complete the exam. So we speak to them all the time and let them know this is what you are working for. At the end of your primary school year, means you're going to do an exam. So the children have to set goals. Teach them early to set goals. Oftentimes we have the parents pushing the children for what they want, the parents want. In that, I mean that they are really not seeing the children themselves sometimes. Okay? So we encourage our parents to have the children set their own goals. Speak to them about the things that they can do to achieve their goals, okay? And walk with them, encourage them, give them praises. Do not wait on the school to give their child, their children praises, because they know and you reward them. Children, they work best when you reward them. And also, you know, sometimes you may not have everybody coming in the top, but your child may have improved from point A to point B, so make sure you praise and reward the child and encourage them. As teachers, we have to first of all love them. Love the children, be there for them. You have to also let them know that you can do this. That's what I do with my children. It's like, you can do this, I believe in you. So you are going to produce of your best. I am here to help you, to encourage you, to guide you. So with that, it's not like I am doing it for Miss or I am doing it for teacher. You know, I do it for myself. I have my teachers who believe in me, so and who love me and who will support me, so I am going to work hard. And of course, parents, nothing will happen without God. We have to pray for them, and we have to always encourage them to seek God's help and to know that He wants only the best for them.
Wonderful. And we would end with those wonderful words of advice. And once again, congratulations
Thank
to
you very
the
much.
team, the children, the school, and all the best in your teaching going forward. We do look forward for more results out of you and your students.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right now, we have with us two smiling and promising men of the future for Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, and two of this year's top performers in the CPEA examinations for 2021. And they are none other than Richard James and Gerald Charles. As you can see, Richard is holding a trophy there of the valedictorian for this year for the Kingstown Preparatory School. Simultaneously, as the results came out, the school had its graduation ceremony organized for this date. Richard, you must be very happy being this year's overall top performer for CPEA.
I was ecstatic.
You're ecstatic. And are you surprised by anything?
Well, yeah, I have always tried to be modest, so I just tried to, try my best. So my parents are proud of me. They didn't need to see the placements. They just wanted me to do my best. And yeah, I guess this was my best. So, but I'm just happy I did.
Wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. And I can see your best really did pay off. Tell us something, Richard. With the COVID going on, and the absence from school and so on, and a lot of online classes, how was it? Was it challenging for you to be prepared for the exam?
In some aspects of it, yes, because when you're at home, you're tempted to watch TV, play games, because when you're in school now, you're surrounded by a learning environment, books and things. When you're at home, you have your TV there, you have your devices at home. So it was tempting to just not study, but I know that I needed to study in order to achieve what I wanted.
Wonderful. And I'm sure that the teachers and parents would have played a part in you getting ready for the exam?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Okay. Before we move on to Jared, do you have any ideas of what you would like to become when you grow up?
Well, I'm still figuring that out, but I also want to be a professional chef. Maybe my favorite food is breakfast. Like my favorite type of food is breakfast food. Like that's my overall favorite type of food. So I want to own a breakfast place.
No problem, and the sky is the limit for you. Congratulations once more on your accomplishment, and we do wish you the best going forward. Jared, how has it been for you in terms of the challenges of COVID and staying focused, getting prepared for these exams?
Well, the challenges of COVID, when I was home, I didn't really study a lot. All I did was watch TV and play games.
Okay. So, just before the exams, I'm sure that your parents or teachers, or both of them, would have been instrumental in making sure that you're ready to write these exams.
Oh yes, yes.
Both of them are.
Yep.
Right, wonderful. And by chance, just for re-information, Jared would have placed fourth overall in this year's examinations. Jared, do you have any idea as to what you'd like to become when you grow older?
Just like original school.
That's fine. I mean, you're still young and you have your whole future ahead of you. One more thing before you guys go back to your graduation. What sort of advice would you give to those children who will be writing the exams next year under similar circumstances, given COVID and the challenges?
Well, if at home, I guess try to do. I guess you can watch on TV, but try to put in more effort with your work and studying.
Yes. I believe that you should not, while you should not be using your devices so much, you also should not study too much. So you have to find a balance. Because my parents didn't take away my devices because they trusted me to know that, okay, I need to study, I need to practice. So I would use my devices and have fun, but I would also spend some of my time studying. So I did not feel overwhelmed. So that's my advice to the students and parents that are getting ready for CPEA next year. Don't overload the children, but also don't let them become lazy.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, guys, and all the best to you both going forward in your education. Thank you. We are once more at the Georgetown Primary School in Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, and once more they have done exceptionally well at the CPEA examinations. I would like to make a correction for an earlier recording. The Kingston Preparatory School was not the sole first place performer in this year's exams. However, there was a tie between the Kingston Preparatory School and the Georgetown Primary School. I know that a few years ago when we came here, the school was earmarked to be doing well, and the then principal promised us that one day this school will be at the top of the pedestal. And this year in 2021, the Georgetown Primary School is tied first place for the CPEA examination. And with me this morning is the principal of the school, Miss James, who I'm sure is very elated with the performance of her student. And by extension, the general performance of the school in this year's exams. Miss James, just briefly tell us, how do you feel that Georgetown, or one of the rural schools, is now on top in the CPEA examinations?
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I must say that we are very happy about that. We are very proud of Isaiah. We didn't have any doubt that he was going to make us proud. He has always been a very focused student, and he's very intelligent. So we know, based on the way that he would have been working over the years, that he was going to do very well in this year's CPEA exams.
And based on the COVID-19 restrictions, etc., what were some of the challenges that yourself and the teaching team faced in terms of getting the children prepared for these exams?
Well, I think online school was the biggest challenge, getting the children online. The thing is, even though the records would show that you had a number of students online, the interactions would show that some of them were just logged on, but they were not there in person. So they would log on and then they would disappear. Some of them also didn't adjust very well to the online teaching. You know, they didn't get as much from the teachers. The teachers were always there. They did their best, but some of them they just didn't really assimilate as much from the online teaching as they would face to face. And when we went back to face after the volcanic eruptions, a lot of them expressed this sentiment to the teachers, that they were glad that they were back face to face, because online they weren't really, even though the teachers were there, they were having classes every day, they weren't really learning as much.
And based on how you would have described Isaiah, it would appear that there's no surprise at all that he would have done so well in these examinations. What type of student was he generally in school?
Well, as I said, in terms of ability, he's an intelligent student, right? He's an intelligent student. He knows his abilities. He had a good relationship with the students, with the teachers. He was the type of student who would challenge the teacher. He always asked you some questions that made you think. Okay? Some questions that you wouldn't normally expect from students. Yes, so I should say that we have a very dedicated team of teachers, okay, who are always willing to go the extra mile for the students. We saw that coming out during COVID, when all the teachers, they wouldn't just sign on when they had their class, but they would be there supporting the other teacher, supervising and stuff like that. And I think it should really be committed when a lot of persons saw that as an opportunity to get some free time. These teachers were always there.
And quickly before we leave, what sort of advice would you give to fellow principals or teachers or even parents in terms of getting their children ready for next year's examinations? Because we do know that we still have the COVID pandemic that is quite a stress to the education system and, well, the entire country as a whole. So what sort of advice would you give to fellow principals, teachers and parents in terms of preparing their children for next year's exams, given the challenges that we currently face?
I think that one of the things that we cannot overemphasize is the relationship between the home and the school. Now, we saw from the online teaching that the parents or the students who actually had their parents behind them, they performed well. We saw it from the results of the reading assessment that was done, from the diagnostic tests, and Isaiah's success is typical of parental support. His parents were always behind him, you know, always giving him the support, pushing him, giving him the extra, you know. So I think a lot of his support must also be credited to his parents.
Thank you very much. And for those parents in particular looking on, please continue to play a vital role in your child's development. Also, parents and teachers or / school relationship is very important in these times. Thank you very much, Ms. James, for speaking with us today. And once again, congratulations to yourself and your team and your students for doing well or placing first in this year's exams.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and we're here with this year's joint top performer in the CPEA examinations, Isaiah Tony and his dad. And he is from the Georgetown Primary School. Now, we know throughout the years the Georgetown Primary School has been putting out top 10 results, and finally they're at the top of the pedestal this year through Isaiah. He's been joined with the student of the Kingston Preparatory School, and they both had the same average coming out of these exams. But quickly, I just want to find out, Isaiah, how has it been for you getting prepared for these exams under unusual circumstances where you had to have online classes and missing school face-to-face a lot, etc.? How has it been for you getting ready for these exams?
Well, it's been okay. There was a little bit of difficulty with the adjusting from the face-to-face to the online school, but other than that, it was all right.
Right. And Dad, you must be very happy, proud, all at the same time. Was it any surprise to you that Isaiah would have done so well this year in these exams?
No, not at all. I'm not surprised one bit. We know that he has the capacity and the capability, and he has just fulfilled that. He has shown us that he can do what we believe he can do.
And how have you been assisting in his preparations in terms of making sure that he stays focused? Because it's very easy when you're at home to be distracted, etc. You know, how have you been encouraging him and getting him prepared for the exams?
Well, tell you the truth, Isaiah is a very consistent and disciplined student. I mean, he knows that he has to do his work, and all we do is to provide guidance. So it's not a very hard task because he is a self-motivated individual. But nonetheless, we would have made sure that he has all the resources that are necessary. If there are things that we need to clarify, if there are things we have to set up in relation to the online school, any question that we have, we would ask. So it has been a kind of joint effort. His wife, my wife, and I mean his brother, all of us have chipped in one way or the other. And wherever challenge, we have always told him, if you have any challenge, let us know. And we've always tried to get over whatever hurdle we have to get over.
You know, this is very wonderful to hear that, you know, it's a family effort in terms of his preparation and so on. Isaiah, how have your teachers impacted your preparation for these exams?
My teachers have impacted my preparations for this exam very greatly because they allowed us to do extra practice and allowed us to understand what kind of questions they would bring so that we could prepare for them.
Wonderful. Before we go, I would like to find out something. Do you have any idea as to what you would like to be when you grow up?
I would like to be an astronomer when I grow up.
Wow. The first astronomer hailing from Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. That is awesome. Dad, do you have any advice for parents of children who would be setting the exams next year? Because, as you know, the struggles continue with in terms of the pandemic that we are under, and it very well may impact face-to-face teaching going forward. Do you have any advice for parents of students going forward?
Of course, we have advice. I mean, it's always important for children, first of all, to be focused. So it means that the parents has to provide that sort of guidance, one way or the other. Make sure that the child is doing the work that is required. Make sure that you are paying attention to what are the challenges that the child or the children might be facing, and then you provide that sort of guidance. It is important to interact with the teachers to find out where and what are the challenges, and if anything that you need to do. And you work together as a team, with all the stakeholders. So it's a joint approach, basically. And of course, our reliance, it shouldn't be on our own reliance all the time. We have to put God first. And our thing is, we have to pray. We actually pray with Isaiah from time to time, and our thing is we have to depend on God for assistance. So while we have the capacity and the ability to do things, it is not all about us. And so we want to give God the glory.
And these are the sentiments that have been echoing throughout the country, that God must be the center of your every doing. Isaiah, do you have any advice for children, for students who would be setting these exams under similar circumstances next year?
My advice to students sitting their exams next year or any other year after this would be to stay focused, don't be distracted, put away the games for a little while, because after that you'll get all the time you need, and just put in all your effort and then you can reap the rewards.
Thank you very much. And before we go, this goes out to either of you. Do you have any parting words for your teachers or the school, the principal, anyone there?
Of course, as I said, it's a joint effort. I mean, we can't do it on our own. The child cannot do it on his own. The teachers, of course, and the school is also very important. So we want to say a hearty thank you to the principal and the staff at the Georgetown Government School for their input and for their guidance for Isaiah, and all of the other teachers in the school, particularly grade 6 teachers. We also want to say thank you to Miss Paula Blake Tony and Ronise Henry, who also provided some further guidance in terms of additional work. And I say it's a joint effort, and we are very grateful. And for all of the family support and everybody else, church and our friends, his friends, we want to say thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the school, thank you for the church, thank you to the friends, and thank you both for having us here today. We would like to once again congratulate you all on a job well done. As you mentioned earlier, it was a family effort, and wish you nothing but the best going forward. And I hope that I live to see the first astronomer coming out of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, knowing that how many years ago we would have met right here. So thank you and congratulations once again.
And thank you very much for coming, and we appreciate it.